Welcome to Social Dynamics. I'm Sarah Stockham, and I'm super excited that you are here. And I want to introduce you to my friend LT. And LT, I was super excited when I saw that it was going to work for us to be in person to have this conversation about you being in the soul journey and that whole process for you. So I just love for you to share a little bit about your background, how you came to find out about the soul journey, and then any piece about that you would like to share.
Yeah, so I first started working with Christy about maybe 3 years ago. And, she had told me, oh my gosh, I met this amazing light worker named Alan. You have to meet him. And I was like, it's okay. It doesn't feel right. And then about maybe a year and a half after that, she was like, LT, you have to do this soul journey thing. And I was like, okay, like it just feels right. And I didn't even know they were connected. And then I met him and I was like, I said no to this man, and so then I said yes to the soul journey and I did it, and it was one of just the most amazing things that ever happened to me. It was amazing.
It's actually because of my connection also with Christy Jones that I found out about the soul journey and went through that process as well. And I actually got to go through with her in that process. And I love that, yes, and I love that you mentioned Alain. He and his wife, Danielle, have created the soul journey. And it's been multiple years in the process of them training other people, working with other people, coaching one-on-one, that they have really come to understanding what it is that we need, especially as people who are sensitives or light workers or feel called to help other people as well. So it's a 7-week process. And what was your turning point or your aha in that process?
So my aha moment, it came around week 4. So just a little background, I used to be in a wheelchair. When I was younger, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and that was a whole bout of months in a wheelchair. Anyways, I was watching this TV show, and this little girl was being fitted for a wheelchair, and she was like 3 years old. And my ego lost it, and I just could not stop crying. I was like, why am I so upset? And I decided, you know what? I'm going to do the steps. I'm going to ask myself the why questions and figure out what's going on for my inner child right now. And that was so powerful for me, because as I got deeper and deeper and deeper, the tears just kept flooding, and I got to that core feeling that was the cause of all of that. And then I just told myself, you know what? You're love. Like, that's not your truth. And then I cried even more, because it was this relief of, wow, like that doesn't have to be my truth. And that for me was the biggest moment of soul journey, where I was like, this is it. Like, this is gonna help me transform my whole life.
Oh, I so appreciate you sharing that. And LT, I didn't know that you had been in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was part of your story, because I've met you through what we've been working on together, right?
Yeah.
So in that process of you going through the different layers and asking yourself the questions and coming to that breakthrough, you talked about understanding that you were loved. Can you speak a little bit more specifically to what we affectionately call the blue soul, in terms of the I am inside of us, or the spirit, divine spirit inside of us?
Yeah, so for me, I like to say that I am a divine child of God, and that I am a wave in the ocean that is God. To me, that is what my blue soul is. It is the peace of God that constantly flows through me, through you, through everyone, and that we're all connected in that way, and that flow is love, and that's why I'm love, is because love is God, God is love, and He's in me, and that's my higher self, and that we're sort of one and the same, even though we're different. And so that's sort of like how I understand the blue soul, and that when my inner child is connected to that love and flowing from that place of love, that's when I'm my blue soul. And when my inner child is flowing from her past experiences or her pain and trying to identify with her pain, that's when she's the green soul, because she's identifying with the ego instead of identifying with that flow of love.
And you describe that so incredibly well in terms of being connected to the divine, but yet we have these life experiences. And what I'm beginning to discover also in this process is that we are not just working through our own life experiences, But for some of us, we are working through life experiences of our family, the family stories that we have been told as well.
Yes.
In that process, then coming to places of saying, I am part of my family. However, my story doesn't need to be the same if there is toxic suffering in there, if there are things that are being shared that aren't necessarily things that we agree with or see as being the right path for us to go forward in, that we can choose to be different, that we can choose to have these, what we call conversations with God.
Yeah, 100%. And that has been my experience so much because, I was actually a few weeks ago struggling. Why am I always feeling so unworthy all the time? Like, where did this come from? When did this start? And I realized, I can't remember because it was so rooted in being a child. And then I realized, my mom feels like that too. And, her mom feels like that too. And it's totally these family dynamics or these generational feelings that we can carry in us that, our parents didn't, get to fix, but we get to show up in this lifetime and we get to transcend those feelings for ourselves and for previous generations. And we get to give that gift of worthiness to the coming generations as we unblock the unworthiness that's been there for us. And that for me is like just filled with so much hope. Like, wow, I feel like a superhero, like I get to fix this.
I love that you share that. I was troubled for so many years when I would read in the old scriptures about Moses saying that, curses to the 7 generations, but yet blessings to the 7 generations. And I was like, I want to be in the blessing side of life. I want to be in the flowing, right? And then to come to the understanding that part of what you're discussing is absolutely that curse of one person feeling unworthy. And then because that's what they are sharing, not only with their children, but everybody around them, then the other people begin to pick up the virus, so to speak, of unworthiness. And so that becomes in that set until it's completed, until somebody like LT shows up and says, this is enough. This is enough. I am choosing blessing now in this area with my family for the next, forever, right?
Forever, yeah.
Exactly.
That's the dream.
Yes, it is the dream. It is the hope. It is the desire. So I understand that now that you've finished the soul journey, that your thoughts about this are so deeply rooted in who you are that you are going to move on into another area with this. So if you'll share about that, please.
Yes. So I actually started doing septogram, which is sort of the next step, and trying to really develop myself as a light worker because I know that that's my calling and I know that I'm here to do that. And so I've been working through the septogram program, and that has been, I finished Soul Journey and I was telling Christy, my mentor, I don't think I can blow my mind anymore. Like, this is so amazing. Well, let me tell you, I did.
Yes.
And through the septogram program, that has been, even bigger. And, I've discovered that I would love to be a soul journey coach and get to give back this gift that I've gotten from the soul journey and give that to other people and help awaken that light in them that I found through doing it myself. So that's sort of where I'm at now.
LT, as you share that dream and desire, I see you on stage in front of truly tens of thousands of people sharing your story, sharing how this has radically changed your life, that you have come from a space of being in a wheelchair to a space of standing tall. And yes, there's a physical dimension of that, but there's also the internal dimension of that, right?
100%. Yes. That's something that was really big for my grief. Don't tell me it's in my head. It's not in my head. My emotions are not causing this. This is physical and it hurts, and fix me. And I had to come to a point where I realized just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's not real. Yeah. And that our emotions and our physical body, it's not here and here. Our emotions and our physical body work so hand in hand. And when you are upset, when you have these deep feelings going on for you, it affects your physical body. And to be able to understand that and not place blame or judgment or, oh, well, you should be able to just fix it then, right? You get to work on it and you get to be in charge. You have the power to choose your thoughts, and that's going to directly impact your physical body. And I think that was just so amazing for me to find that, you know what I mean? And to really understand that I get to choose and that it's not my fault, that it's no one's fault, that this was just part of my journey. And that was really powerful for me.
I have to say how empowering that is for me to hear you share your story, but also to understand you saying that you get to choose, right?
Yeah.
And so even when I'm grocery shopping or I am, putting gas in the car, in the daily life of things, right? That I have so many choices that I get to make in terms of what do I want to be focusing on? What do I want to be feeling in that moment? Because if I want to be upset, I can absolutely get there pretty fast, right? But if I want to feel hopeful or encouraged or powerful or happy about things, I can also go that direction and be in that space as well. So any other thoughts that you want to share with people in social dynamics?
I did actually want to share what you just mentioned of, how easy it is to, get angry if you want to choose to get angry. And, people think, I don't know how to choose to be happy, or I don't know how to choose my feelings. And, something that I've learned is you're always choosing your feelings.
Always.
It doesn't feel like a choice when you just get mad because it's so automatic because you've been choosing for so long. But that's still a choice that you're making. Like you already know how to do this. You've been doing it. You just get to choose something else and make something else your new automatic response.
Yes.
You just get to reprogram that for yourself. And I think that for me is also very empowering of just like, okay, I already know how to do this. This doesn't have to be new. I'm a pro at this. I just get to choose something else for that. And so I think that was just something that I wanted to share with everyone.
And I love also the idea that our feelings are not the governor of our life,
Right.
but our feelings are a place that allow us to know if we're in the river, so to speak. Are we in the right place energetically? Are we where we want to be energetically? And that we have choices to make with that. And part of the choices that they teach in the soul journey is the idea of conversations with God, being able day or night at any point at all to be able to go through these layers of questions, to be able to really get to the root of what's going on, and then to allow the opening to happen, for there to be healing and joy and purpose and completion in just such exquisite ways. LT, thank you so much for coming on to Soul Journey, to share about the Soul Journey today with Social Dynamics. I really appreciate it.
Of course, it was such an honor to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely.